All right, y'all, I'm running a little late. Well, a lot late. I'm about a half an hour late. We'll see who comes in. We may go inside because my neighbor's working on his car, so we'll see who all comes in first. I'm out in the garden. Let me flip it around and see if y'all can see. So as people come in. All right, so that's that beet. The endive and beets are over there. I don't know what's coming up, what's what. Back there we got some carrots. The cilantro's doing real good. I did plant basil, chives, oregano, parsley, basil, chives, lavender. Over there is parsley, I think, too. The mints over there. Y'all can see that the watermelon radishes, they growing. I hope they're not. One of them looks like he might be bolting. We'll see. And again, I just did this. I did a tomato and spicy globe stuff. Hey, what's up? Can you hear me okay? I came in late, y'all. I'm sorry. We might go inside because my neighbor's working on his car, but we might go inside. Hold on. I'm going to turn this around. Can y'all hear me okay? Can y'all hear me okay? Hey, Kathy. What's up, Chicago BBW? Let me see who all came in. So I see Chicago. I see Tiffany. What's up, baby? Culinary Grid. See you, baby. What's up? Rochelle. What's up, baby? Y'all, I came outside. I was going to do this in the garden, but he's working on his car. He's working on his truck, so he might be drilling. But if it gets too much, we'll go inside. I've just been... Oh, and what y'all saw, that's one of my little organization things I just found. This apartment's not very big, so I had nowhere to put, like, mops and brooms, and they would just lean up against the wall. And, who is it? Costco had a special, like $10 for 4 of them. And so I got 2 placed in the hall and 2 behind the bathroom door. So put it somewhere out of the way. And I like them. They just stick to the wall. No hammering, nailing, just a stick. But I'm out here right now working on the dirt. I just did another bag yesterday. I was gonna do some bags today. And then Joe and I are going to the I think we're going at 6 o'clock. He said 6 o'clock. His nephew's doing DoorDash with his girlfriend, so they're delivering DoorDash they're delivering DoorDash, so he's doing that with his girlfriend. So they're doing that up until 6 tonight, and then Joe will come get me probably about 6:30. I'm estimating, and we're supposed to go do sushi. I don't know if we're doing sushi. I don't know what we're doing, but he wants to go, and I have to know ahead of time because with this bulge, it's weird. Anyway, let me see who all is in here. Anybody else come in? All right. So I got a question for y'all because I just was thinking today, happy Sunday. I hope y'all blessed. I just got through doing a Christian video, which took me a little bit longer than what I expected. And I'll be putting up that later. But I I got to put that up here in a few minutes. I'm gonna load that. Matter of fact, I was gonna load that while we sit. Let me get that started, y'all. Hold on. I need to get that started. We may be going inside. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna get that. I got the iPad. I want to know, and y'all tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think the pandemic is over? That's what I want to know. I want to know what y'all think. I got my own thoughts, but y'all let me know if y'all think it's over. We can talk about that because that's been in the news. They call it the endemic. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Give me a minute. Hold on, y'all. Trying to see if that thing's doing what I wanted to do. Oh, there we go. Making sure it's not showing me the way I wanted to show, but it's okay. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta upload anyway, so I'll go fix everything else later. Alright. We uploading, y'all. We upload. So, let's put that there. Anywho, y'all give it a like, thumbs up, share it out. I want to know who thinks that everything is over. I want to know. Rochelle, speak on that. All right. All right, so I'm seeing a mixed view. So I know Rochelle said, yes, she thinks it's finally over or it's coming to a halt. I see that others of y'all said, no, it ain't over. I see some of y'all saying, yes, I'm still being careful. Me too. I've been blessed. I have not had COVID to my knowledge. I think I'm either asymptomatic because I have not, I mean, I've been out here a little bit, but not. I've been to doctor's office. I went into, what's that, when I went into COVID Central when I had to go because of my stomach. Oh, I got to tell you about the stomach trauma too because the surgery's on hold. We'll talk about that later. I'm going to have to do the bariatric surgery first. I have to lose half my body weight for them to do the repair surgery. So we'll talk about that later. And we'll talk about that hopefully at the end. So I want to deal with the end stuff. Or this is this over with? So the company I work for, they actually brought people back into the office, of which all the managerial staff have been sharing with each other the COVID. My old team lead dude, he got it. And I guess he had it before the early part of the pandemic, and he got it again. One of the ladies who she doesn't know that I know, but she's or know that I'm there, but she worked with me at University of Phoenix. She's my friend who was from University of Phoenix. She's her supervisor. She didn't know her, but she's now her supervisor, and she just got it, and she's a severe diabetic. And she got it and is dealing with it. So it's not over. I believe that it is going to be similar to HIV and AIDS, where and like the flu, where it's just going to be something they manage. However, because we have so many people who are not getting vaccinated for it, I don't know if it's going to continue doing the if it's going to continue doing the variations of the actual what do you call it? When it variants, the variance is where it actually varies or changes. So I don't know if we're going to get other variants because we have people who won't get vaccinated. So those are some of my question marks, whether that's going to be the case or not. Okay. With that being said, I personally think it's not over in other ways. So what am I going to mean by that? We have too many folks who think it's over based on the disease itself. It's not over based upon the financial ramifications that are going to happen worldwide and are happening worldwide. There is more to come from the economical the economic damages from this. Also, the mental damages from this. This is why we have people who no longer want to do the jobs they did. COVID mentally was taxing for a lot of people. Isolation, self-evaluation. Because when you're isolated, the only thing you can really do is self-reflection. You can watch TV as much as you want. You can try to play video games as much as you want. You can drink. You can do all these other things to try to not look at life and at yourself. But at the end of the day, self-reflection happens. A lot of divorces happen. A lot of incest, molest happen because you had a lot of pervies up in houses with children. I'm just gonna say that. A lot of who people are. You found out who you were married to and who you weren't. You found out who folks were, and you found out, do I really love this person, or was I just physically attracted to him because I just wanted to screw him? I mean, come on. I'll keep it 100. So a lot of that happened during this time. And you found out who people were, who they weren't. Unfortunately, a lot of abuses happen with children up in houses. A lot of babies are being born. There's a lot of stuff that took place during COVID. So is it over? I'm going to say maybe the disease itself is coming to a possible more manageable stage. But the ramifications of COVID and what took place with it, that ain't over. That's not over at all. What is he building? He's got a big old piece of wood. Wonder what he's doing with the wood. I don't know. I'm curious what he's doing with the wood. Hell, I need to ask. He got a drill. He got a ladder and come screw some things in for me. I need to. Linda said she gonna come with her ladder. We need to screw. We need to change. Let me change this so y'all can see. So this is my fabric curtain, and I had the maintenance guy come up, and there's a nail up there, but I need it pulled over because it sagged. The guy who cleaned my patio for me of all the weeds, he put it right there because those hooks were already in. Y'all see those little circular hooks? Those were already there when I got here. So I need to move that over. Hold on. I need to move that over, and then over here, I need to pull that, and this because it's sagging, so it'll come up and have it. So Linda's supposed to come with her little ladder, and me and her gonna try it together. I'm more a little bit tomboyish than she is, but I'm too fluffy to be up on these ladders unless it can hold me. So we need to get up there, and I'm gonna I got the hardware in because y'all can see. So if you can see, I ordered that little metal thing that's on the fence and that metal hook that's pulling it. That's the hardware, and I didn't have that originally. Originally, I had just the cloth, and he just used some nails to put them in. So now I got that, and I put that one in. I'll probably drag that one over, but I want her to come and do that side, and then we'll know what to do on the other side and pull it so it actually doesn't sag and it actually stretches to cover more shade because we're getting ready to come up on summer. And when it does, I want this shaded more because my plants die. That summer heat kicked my tomatoes couldn't even handle it. So with this shade cloth, it blocks a lot for how much percentage of the sun it blocks. But that's why I put the herbs under here. Joe brought those cinder blocks, and I put those under here. And then I got some little 99-cent little herbal things that they had at Family Dollar, and I bought how many? 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. So I'm putting those together right now because I'll be planting some herbs in there as well. And then I'll also intermingle. Right now I got that tomato black creme and the spicy globe. I got them planted together. And then I got the Wallawan onions and carrots. So you can look at what you can plant together. So, and if you plant stuff together, and I got the mint over there, and I want to get some more. I wanted some chocolate mint and stuff like that. But no, this ain't over. It's my firm belief that none of this is over. We are going to have economic issues. Actually, we're already seeing it. We see it with the supply chain. We're seeing it financially. The war that, let me see how I can say this, because now we're being censored to y'all. So the war that they're talking about in Ukraine, and it seems to me, and I'm going to agree, and don't get me wrong, I don't trust Putin at all, but it seems to me that we're touting more of the push to get into this war. And how can I put this? Let me see if it. War can make a leader of any kind. seem, hey Wendy, war can make a leader of any kind seem as if, I started late, Wendy, so you're okay. A war of any kind can make a leader seem as if he or she is tough. And if you are having popularity issues among the voters and among other politicians, maybe, just maybe, it might behoove you. I'm gonna move y'all here. I'm gonna move y'all in front. Let me see if I can move y'all in front. Y'all see me in front? Okay. It might behoove you to now become that supposed leader who, let me move this out the sun, to become that leader who, by all intents, take this off. Y'all hold on. This thing went somewhere. I don't know where it went to, and I didn't want it to go there. I want it to go to the uploads. Hold on. I want it to concentrate on the upload. I don't care about the other stuff. It might make you seem to be this leader who is tough, who you're probably really not. And so you think that by maybe doing and getting involved in this will give you popularity. Also, what war is a moneymaker. Massive moneymaker. At least in past wars you get into, depending on the war and depending on the type of war, it can bring in money. It can bring in revenue. And they may be looking at it from that particular aspect, which is another reason. And don't get me wrong, I feel sorry for Ukraine and what's going on and what Putin is trying to do. Some stuff didn't sit right with me. It didn't sit right with me in beginning that he initiates a call to the United States president to discuss him possibly invading Ukraine. Doesn't sit right with me that Biden says, oh yeah, he's going to do it. It seems too well planned. I could be wrong. Again, I go back to my dreams about food, and I told people, y'all need to start stocking. Because if a war ensues, and a war with Russia, baby bye. While it may be a moneymaker on certain levels, us on the lower end that ain't got a lot of money, we gonna sacrifice at a level that's real special. One of the reasons I'm working on trying to get this garden set up, I had a dream about a garden coming out of concrete. It was some spiritual stuff to it, but I had a dream. So I'm like, okay, a lot of time when God talks, it's twofold. Where it said, Bible said the word cuts two ways. There's more coming. And I know people, I guess I'm a realist. And even with ministry, I tell people, I know y'all want me to tell you, oh, you're going to be blessed and have $5 million. And you're going to be the boss on your job. And you're going to have the Lexus and the Mercedes and every car you want. And I'm not that minister. I'm not that one. Because really, that's people pimping God's word. And that's not what the word is about. Girl, stop. $75 oxtails. I'm done with you. I bought some oxtails the other day. They in the freezer. And I only got them because I was like, Joe's stew was so good, but I'm going to make him a soul food version of oxtails. And I got them in the freezer. So I'm going to go ahead and do some oxtails gravy. I'm going to do old school. So the way I grew up with them, my mom baked them. I know that I just remember them baked. But I remember mashed potatoes. I remember gravy. I remember something orange on the plate, which I think was either, I'm going to say it was carrots or it was sweet potatoes. And we always had string beans with a soul food meal. And my favorite string beans at the time, and still are French style string beans. And then the other ones I got introduced to that I really like are the flat Italian string beans. And I was introduced to those when I was in trucking, going to Chester's Chicken. I wouldn't even buy chicken. I'm not a huge fried chicken person anymore. But Chester's Chicken, them string beans they got, them flat Italian string beans, bomb. Y'all be praying. I hope they're paying us holiday pay tomorrow. I'm trying to save up to get a car. A friend of mine has introduced me to somebody who I may be able to buy a car from. So I gotta see. Um, I gotta try to have my money together by the 12th. So I'm hoping everything should be. Oh, I'm going to win by hook or by crook. I think that deal is most likely going to go through because it's a good deal. I mean, there's some work that needs to be done on it. It's an older car, but it'll get me through, and it ain't too much money. So, and it's a friend of hers. Well, he's actually a truck driver who's selling it, and the car has only been between him and his father. So his father passed, he got the car, and then he had it, but he just recently bought a truck, and so he wants to sell the car. And it's an older car. It's like a 96 something. So it's an older car, but it's okay because I just need something to get me from the doctor back. So just trying to get the loot together for that. And like I said, by hook or by crook, even if I got to borrow it, I'm going to most likely borrow what I need to complete everything because I got to do the insurance registration and the purchase of the vehicle. So I got to reach out. I haven't reached out to the insurance company yet. Joe gave me his insurance company to do, so I'll be doing that. So y'all be praying because that'll be done by March 12th because I don't want him selling it to nobody else. Whew. This is what's going on. There's work that needs to be done, but it runs and it's just some minor stuff. He's done something with a toggle switch to start the car because the ignition switch messed up. I'm like, oh no, that's got to get fixed. And then the windows don't roll down, but the car runs. He used to drive it, I guess she said, from here to California. He's an older guy, like 60 something, and he drove it from here to California. But he said his kids would slam the doors and they messed up the window regulators. So that's something that I'll just take it to a mechanic. I'm not good at that kind of stuff, but I'll take it to a mechanic. I mean, I can change light bulbs. I can probably change a belt depending on where it's at. I can do a hose depending on where it's at, but the other stuff is not my thing. And I'm also going to eventually get it painted because it's faded real bad. But a 96, you would expect that here in Arizona. But I'm going to get it painted because we do have a carport here, so I can put it under there. But I got a real cheap paint place that's down the street. And I'll get that done just because I'll be having it. But I'm going to drive it until it stops running. I'm not about fancy stuff anymore. I'm getting back to my grandfather always bought used cars, and he bought one brand new car. After that, everything he did was cash. Every car he bought was cash. He didn't do loans. Every vehicle he purchased was cash. I only have had 2 loans in my lifetime, one for the motorcycle and one for the Scion. But I'm getting back to cash purchases, and I would advise y'all to do the same. But this is not over, and it's not over in the grand scheme of there's more coming. From a Christian perspective, we are in a season in which time is wrapping up. People can say what they want, think what they want, and I realize everybody wants to get back to whatever your normal was or what you think your normal was, which really wasn't probably all that great. Because what has happened is the abnormal of this with COVID has been too much for you to bear. So therefore, I want to go back to the normal of my craziness, and most people's normal was jacked up in and of itself. So yeah, I'm sitting here going, okay, y'all do that, y'all do you, but this is not over. By no means is over. There is more coming. And the more that's coming in conjunction with this, if it's not the disease itself, is going to be the ramifications of what happened with the disease, the ramifications of what they're doing politically to try to have their popularity and get prepared for the next election, which is only a few years away, and to try to make themselves look as if something they're probably not. So as I begin to understand the madness of it all, I wanted to get on here and say, who really believes that this is over with? It's not over with. It's by far not over with. And I don't know if it's going to be the war, but it's going to be something that I think they're going to spin in order to help people's political popularity. Also to try to take your eyes off of the financial issues of the country and off of even what they're calling the supply chain issues of the country. I think it was Rochelle who was mentioning that food is not lasting. Like if you buy groceries, you notice that it go fast. And I'm trying to tell you, there's spiritual stuff involved in this. But it's funny, you buy something and it doesn't last as long as it did. It seems like it spoils faster. And and it was something I think Rochelle brought up, because we're in a season, and we're in a season in which, from a Christian perspective, God wants your focus on Him. If we keep having some of the comfortability, the things that are comfortable to us, we won't never focus on Him. It'll always be about us. But if we are in a situation where it's tough, or it causes us uncomfort, or to be uncomfortable, then at that point in time, we're leaning in, and we're like, okay, God, I need your help to get through this, because mentally we have to lean on something. So it makes us look at Him as a last resort. So no, I don't by any means think it's over with, and I don't think it's over with in a bigger scale of. I want to see if that was a rock. I think it's in a bigger scale than just, is it over in the grand scheme of the disease. I think it's the ramifications, the ripple effects. If you throw a rock in water, it's going to cause ripples. This was a big behind rock with COVID, and we're talking over 2 years of COVID, and it's not really gone. And I think that whoever said it's an election season, you're absolutely right. That also has an impact on why now, oh, we're going to take the mask off, and people want to have popularity, and, we don't have to wear the mask and this and that. Okay, is COVID gone? Oh, it ain't. And we all take risks when we go out here. I'm taking a risk right now when I go out. I take risks. And all of us do, because I didn't take the risk I did before. I do feel a little more comfortable that I'm vaccinated, but bleed through infections are very. The team lead that I had, he bleeds through infection. He got a bleed through just recently. They got him all up in that office. The lady who is my new team lead, she's like, where do you want to go in the company? I ain't say nothing about no team lead, because team lead means I got to go in that office. I want to go in the office. I want to work from home. I like working from home. At 54 years old, work from home works for me. I don't really want to deal, and it's not that I don't like young people, but I don't want to deal with young people in corporate arenas. And especially, they've got a generation that is different. I've been through the corporate cutthroat behavior. I'm jealous of you because you're getting this attention and I'm not getting this attention. I'm over that. So I can just do the core job and leave me in my corner. So right now, they don't require me to come in that office. As long as they don't require me to come in that office, work from home. The day I got to come back in that office, the day I got to start looking for something else. And the company I like overall, it's not a bad little company. I'm haven't had any problems. They've got some issues with some of their stuff, but that has, for the most part, they're functioning. The idea behind the company is 100% genius. It's Amazon level genius. And if they know how to actually ride that wave, they'll be fine. My problem, though, is I see them going down the line that University of Phoenix went. University of Phoenix was the school that started that whole online school thing. And look at how many other schools implemented that, because it was genius. But University of Phoenix could not get out of its own way with its sales tactics. And they got slick willy with their sales tactics. You need to put the sales tactics on the back burner, and when you have something successful, let it sell itself. Keep marketing it. When I say marketing it, do the commercials, do all of that, but let it sell itself. University of Phoenix could have touted the fact, we were the first with this idea. We're here. We create this kind of environment. They could have basically shared the benefits of who they were. Instead, they kept doing the slick willy practices in order to lock people in and maneuver and trick people. Same thing Wells Fargo did with the whole online sales stuff. Trying to sell people into it, and then next thing you know, basically they're signing you up for an account and have you with 20 different accounts, and next thing you know, because they're making money off of the fees of your returns and all this other stuff. They're telling their people they're paying them commission. And these people, to feed their families, they willing to do whatever slick willy tactics in order to meet the numbers. And the sad part is, that's not what banking was originally for. Banks make their money. When you put your money in that bank, they play your money, and the money rides on the market. That's one of the things that was to endorse. And so that's all they're doing. But the tactics became so slick willy that I want to be more, greed. And And the Bible says the root of greed was it money. The love of money is the root of all evil. Not money itself, but the love of it. And greed falls into a love of money. And what people will do to get money, it becomes very foul if they love it. So it's very, very foul. Anyway, y'all, I ain't read no comments. Let me read comments. Let's see what we saying. I saw what? I'm gonna read and then I got some more stuff to talk about, but let's read, see what y'all saying. Yeah, I'm still being careful too, Colin. I agree with. Kathy, I'm with you. It's a voting season, so that's what they are telling us, right? And the mask, what's the big deal about a mask? And the sad part is, but this tells you more, because who brought that up? Was that Rochelle? I'm going to talk about the mask real quick. What the mask behavior tells me is really indicative of a lot of people, no offense for you guys 40 and under, but a lot of these people who are talking, and there's some that are my age, but a lot of them are 40 and under, and you guys have been raised in this, I'm going to do it my way, this entitled generation that I'm entitled to my thought process. I'm entitled to the way I want it. Very much a Monty thing. It's an only child type of behavior. And really the word is child because I'm going to do it my way. You got people going, I'll bring my gun up in here if you tell my child not to wear a mask. Guess what? You don't own that school. Yeah, you pay taxes toward it. But if you can't follow the rules of a public institution, then put your child in a private institution that might meet those needs or school them at home. But if the overall school has set up different criterion by which a child has to go to school, I grew up under a school that you could not go into school without certain vaccinations. That's why I'm really blown by this new culture that has the nerve to, I guess, you feel, and that's white folk, but there's some other folk too, that feel you so privileged that people got to do, you saw that video, Kathy, you know what I'm talking about. You got to go, you can go into a school and tell them you're going to bring your gun up in here and you're going to force them to do what you want them to do because that's what I want to do for your one individual child. You crazy as hell. If you want your child to not have to wear a mask, then become an at-home teacher. Go get your license to school your child at home because you can teach your children at home. You can petition for that. It's a right that you're going to homeschool your children and homeschool your little crazy child at home. Hell, give the teacher a break. He's probably a butthole because you a butthole, he or she. And you crazy enough to tell somebody you're going to come up in a gun. So I'm really not shocked at the kids that do come up with guns because these are the behaviors. It's like the response of that mama when the kid went up in there and got caught with the whole gun thing at school. And she going to tell him, oh, you just got caught. You shouldn't have. And I do believe, and see, I've been a firm believer that if a child takes a gun to school, I believe the parent should also be going to jail. Because I believe a lot of parents aren't parenting. You putting them in front of video games. You letting them do whatever. You don't even know who the hell your child is. I remember watching a newscast. This has been a while back. Police went to this woman's home. They had online information that the kid was doing some back-end threats, talking about taking a weapon to school. The mama gets out in the front yard telling the cops off, my kid wouldn't do this, my kid wouldn't do that. My ninja. They let me scroll it for you, ma'am. That's your son, right? You don't know who your kid is. Most of these kids go home, they go in a room, you don't even talk to them. That's the same as kids back in the day who you could tell their parents wasn't paying no attention to them. The girl get pregnant, come home. How the hell you 9 months pregnant and your mama don't know you pregnant? Back in the day when my parents grew up, at least my mother, when you came in and your hands were swollen, they knew you was pregnant. And it didn't take 9 months to figure that crap out. Because you're not paying attention to your children. You're not. Hey, Flatbed, what's up? All right, well, be safe. Well, Northwest, yeah, you're okay up Northwest. They ain't got no snow up in there. Well, Oregon and Washington, I hope that's where you're going. But you got these you got these people when they want to sit and they want to try to tell people it's insanity. some of what you're seeing with people and the thought processes that they have. It's craziness. And I'm sitting here and I'm watching it, and there's an entitlement that's in this generation. It's like I was looking at my arm because I was trying to figure out where the we're talking about the back in the day when you were in school and you had to stand in the cafeteria line, and they when you got before you got and you had to do the vaccines. Oh, y'all love Seattle, girl. I love Seattle. Ooh, there's a hamburger joint. See my fat butt, no food. This is my issue, girl. There's a hamburger joint out there. It's a truck stop, and I can't remember the name of it. They make a hamburger as big as the plate. I'm just saying. You got to know, yeah. I mean, there's a whole bunch. Not only that, I mean, that is one, but also you should be able to look at your child. You should be able to interact with your child. People, behaviors of children. I didn't know my child was a drug addict. How the hell you didn't know? Because you weren't interacting with your child. We got a generation of people who just had kids, and then we had the advent of cell phones and video games and tablets and TVs in car, and we put some cartoons on them because we don't want to raise them, we don't want to rear them, we don't want to talk to them, we don't want to discipline them, and we dare anybody else discipline. It used to be what's that old saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Child by. So now, a parent can't even, you take your kid to school, the teacher talk crazy to them. In your opinion, they talking crazy, but you might have just a bad A kid. But your kid's supposed to be, yeah, the vaccination tattoo, the star. Yeah, I think it's on this arm. I was looking at it in the mirror. My arm gotten so fat I can't see it. But I was looking at it in the mirror, and I still, yep, right there. Mine is right. I think it's right up here. And it was like a star, and it was like a gun. It almost looked like a drill. It was like a metal gun they put up to your arm, and it left like a imprint mark. And I can't remember if it was polio, what vaccine. It was one of them. We had a series of vaccination shots we had to get. Did we know it was in that? No. We knew that they had to come out. We knew polio existed, and we knew this vaccine had to come out to help us, and we did it. This behavior we have now with COVID is just maddening. I understand it on a spiritual level because basically you're not going to tell me what to do. This is, like I said, it's going to get to a mark of the beast kind of situation, but we're not there. So the vaccination they have, although, like I said, I get the mindset behind it. I get why everything is happening away from a Christian perspective. But I'm also looking at this generation that you can't tell them nothing. You can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do it my way. The hell with you. I'm gonna do it my way. I don't care what you're saying. And that's where they at. They don't care. I'm gonna do it my way, and I dare you to say anything to me. They're crazy as a box of rocks. And that's fine. Do you, boo boo. Do you, boo boo. But you crazy as a box of rocks. Um and it's this level of entitlement. I can't stand it. It drives me absolutely batty. I hate it. And I'll be looking at them, and even the justification, like when they came out with BLM, and like I said, I'm not a proponent. I understand it, but I'm not necessarily a proponent because the BLM to me, it went too extreme one way. So now you have a bunch of people who were supporting some, no offense, some ghetto behind folks who do ghetto behind stuff, and then they wonder why they dead or they disabled, and then we gonna say, oh, well, the cops overstep. Look, it ain't had to be a cop. He didn't have to be a cop. It could be me. If I was somebody in law enforcement and I told you to stand by the vehicle, I ain't done nothing to rough you up, nothing to beat you up. I'm investigating something. You got the badge and the gun, and you decide to walk your crazy behind to your car and open the door and get in, my friend, you're getting shot. I'm not letting you lean for nothing. I'm not letting you. I'm not. I'm not. And I'm sorry, you in the ghetto thinking that you can do what the hell you want to do. I have problems with it. And I know, and I'm black in America, and I've been discriminated against. And I've been pulled over by cops too. I was stopped on the way in high school by one. And it was weird, but I obeyed, I minded, and then when I got home, I told my mother what took place. Next thing I know, she called who she needed to call. Okay, I gotta remember what she said. Well, we didn't have to have anything locked up where I grew up. It's just we stood in line like little doobies, and we didn't have no problems. But in my school too, they still had paddles when I grew up. So the teacher would paddle you if you got out of order. But for the most part, we never had no issues. And even if you got in a fight, you put your dukes up, whoop somebody's behind, and you didn't come back with a gun and all that other madness. Whoever took the butt whooping took the butt whooping, and we called it a day. Um, yeah. So I don't get it. But like I said, it's a new generation of human. Do you boo boo in your newness? It's a little much for the kid, but do you? We seen cops. Hold on, y'all. Let me see what this is. My problem is that we seen cops talk to a man of another race, whereas, oh, come on, hold on, y'all. Whereas with a black man, me, I do agree there's differences, Rochelle. I'm not even gonna say there's not. Um, and I do agree that we are discriminated against. I'm not gonna say we're not. But how can I put this? I want to be treated justly, okay? And I would like black males to be treated justly. But if you ghetto, I don't give a damn, white, black, Asian, Latino, I don't give a damn what you are. If you some hood doing hood stuff, does that mean that because we have suffered abuses, that we now go to the extreme to say we're going to let foolishness off? And I don't believe we should. But what we're now getting behind is we're justifying the foolishness, the ghetto crap. And we're saying, oh, okay, ghetto Joe over here, who's crazy as hell, and threw the middle finger at the cop and got back in his car, who's now disabled and paralyzed from the bottom up. Oh, he gets 8.5 million and the cop loses his job. Hello, am I watching the same video where they told that man stop, 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 stop? And then you open the door. Oh no, Pomey, you done. You done. I don't know what you're going for. I'm gonna lose my job, but I'm gonna keep my life because I don't know what you're going for. And if I've told you to stop, I got a badge and a gun, and you crazy enough to open the door and tell me F me, because that's what you're doing. You done. You've made your choices. It's the same way if somebody comes in my house unannounced. I ain't let you in. You walk in the house. I'm supposed to go, oh, don't break in the door. Don't break in the door. Don't break in the door. And you break the door anyway, we done. There's no discussion. And why should I be held responsible for the actions that you did because you decided to be a fool and try to bust in? And then you laid out with a 38 because you decided to walk up in my house. You just didn't know your video was different. I don't know what you meant by different, but okay. Explain, Kathy. I don't know what you mean. Today, I've been pondering a lot of stuff. So, Kathy, I got a lot of things going through my head today. I did a Christian video, which I'm right now waiting for that to upload on the tablet because I usually read y'all comments on the tablet. But I got a Christian video I'm uploading, and I will be posting it in the comments if y'all want to watch it. Dealing with some things, some dreams I've had. But today, I just kind of been pondering, is this over? And I'm watching, I'm watching people act as if this is over. It is not over. By any means possible, is this over? And it's a lot of folks who are acting as if this whole thing is over. It ain't. There's more coming. And I just been pondering a lot of what's going on, and I'm also looking at it obviously from a Christian perspective because I see this as an end of the age move that's happening right now. I definitely see that. Anyway, I don't want to be on for that. Let me chime in too on what took place because we talk about discrimination. So let me kind of chime in on that. So I did go to the general surgeon about the bulge in my stomach, and it's about the size of maybe a grapefruit. So it's like this, okay? And you can actually see it. It's funky monkey. I can't see it. See, if I stood up, you probably could see it. But what ended up happening, this guy, I liked him. He sat down on the, I don't know if y'all know the table you get up on in our doctor's office. They pull that little, they slide that little step out. He sat down on that step, looked me in my face, and explained everything. And basically, I really liked him. He and my doctor knows him, and he knew her, and they know each other personally. And he said, right now with your size, and with the fact that I guess the muscle for my stomach was supposed to be your six pack, mine is really thin because of how my size and it's pulled apart. So that muscle's really thin. And if they tried at my body mass, which is 80%, to do the hernia repair, they don't know how long it would last. What they found in research, and he said there's a hernia repair, I guess, well-known hospital out in, I think he said Texas. I thought he said San Antonio. I can't remember. And the research that they did showed that people over, I think it was like a 40% or whatever BMI, up to 40%, they could have successful repair surgeries. But once you go past that, the surgery did not last as long. It could last a couple of months, it could last a couple of years, but initially it would most likely fail. And there could be other problems that could ensue because of my body mass. To do this repair, I will have to get my body mass back down to around 200 and some pounds. So half of where I'm at right now. So right now, the first step is we have to do the gastric sleeve. I'm doing, I would like the lap band, but it's probably going to be the sleeve. I don't want the bypass. I don't want the whole gastric. I'm going to do the sleeve. Do the gastric sleeve. I'm going to be talking to my doctor, which is why I need a car. Because the place I have to go to is very far. I have to go to, there's 2 areas in the valley that are known for gastric. One is out in Chandler, which is a hospital I used to go to, which he had a recommendation of a lady surgeon who does gastric. My doctor has referred me for the one up in Scottsdale in the past, and I have a very good feeling when we and her talk on March 10th, it's going to be the one up in North Scottsdale. Which is tied to them, and I'm okay with that because they're well known for their gastric bypass and their gastric surgeries. Bariatric. I keep saying gastric, bariatric surgeries. So they're very well known for the bariatric surgeries, which I'm going to have to do. And again, it is a tool, so it's also going to help me reroute my thinking as far as eating and food and how I do things. So, and I know that is an area for me because I love food, honestly. And food is my solace. It's my happy place. I like to go out and chill. And I'm not a fast food person. If y'all haven't recognized that, I go to restaurants. I don't like, that's what Linda said. She said, you don't eat fast food. With the exception of Whataburger, Wendy's chili, I'm not a huge fast food person. I want to sit down at a meal. I want to sit down at the table and eat a damn meal. Who said I don't have my, hold on. I don't have a vaccine tattoo, but my arms are burnt the hell out from the oven heating element. I don't know what you talking about. H.E. Bach, you gonna have to clarify, baby, because I don't know what the hell you talking about the heating element. I don't know what the hell you talking about, baby. I don't know unless you're talking about tanning, and I don't know what you're talking about. And if you chocolate, I'm not understanding why you tanning. even if you one of our sisters who's more caramel complected, I'm not understanding why you tanning, sis. Break it down for me. But so that was that, and then I was supposed to go for a CT scan because my doctor ran something called an amylase test. So y'all be praying for me. The top number is 107, where you're supposed to be. I was 121. That test actually shows possible inflammation or with the pancreas, which could be anything from inflammation up to tumor. So we believe in no for no tumor and hoping not much for, I'm thinking that whatever's going on with the intestines, because the way he explained it is probably my small intestine pushing through the hernia, which is why I'm having discomfort when I eat. So let me kind of tell y'all what took place being fat and black in the medical, dealing with medical folks and medical pink people. So I went to a facility here in Arizona called SMILE, which is Southwest Medical Imaging Labs. And when I went to the one that's closest to my house. They ran an IV. They tried to do 2 because they were going to do this with contrast. They ran one over here, couldn't get that one, so she came over here. There was a guy there that was, I think he was in training for this as well. I didn't know he was going to be at the other facility, but he's a dick. Excuse my French, I'm just going to go there. And electric ovens. Okay, I'm not understanding. You got to break down about the electric ovens and why you would be burning on your arms. Explain that to me. So the guy that was there, he was there the day of, and this other lady was training him. So I got on the table, and the table slid back. It slid forward, and it stopped. Now, understand, I had gone to the hospital at St. Joe's. I went in and out the tube. The only thing was I got booty, and my booty was rubbing up against the side, so they had to do a little wrap-up thing for the booty. And it still rubbed up against the side because I am big. They asked me, how much do you weigh? I said 452. I think I told them 460, but my last doctor weigh-in, because I didn't know. I knew I was at 460 last doctor weigh-in prior to seeing my doctor, but the last doctor weigh-in I went in, I was 452. So I had lost weight. At this point, I had lost some weight, and my when I went in for the CT, I told them I thought I was up around 460, 452. And so that you tell them before you set the appointment so they know, because the table it has a certain weight limit. So they ask you your height, they ask you your weight. I gave them that. So I'm like 5'2", 5'3", I'm short. And I'm big, so I can't fake the funk. You don't see all of me, right? So I get there, they put me on the table goes up, goes back, and it stops, okay? And that's all you heard. So then they had me get off the table, and they said they did it like 2 or 3 times. It wouldn't do it. And he says, well, how much do you weigh? And I said, 452. So they said, okay, they bring these scales. These scales look like scales from your home, not the ones that they carry at the, where you step up and they used to measure, or they have the ones with the things where you step, and those usually go up to like 5, maybe 600 or 400 and some pounds. This scale looked like it was something from your house, okay? They telling me the table they have takes 500. I ain't 500. That I know for fact, okay? I just waited my doctor a week to 2 weeks before. Oh, okay, getting food in and out of the electric ovens. Oh, okay, got you. So you were in the food service, I'm presuming is what you're talking about. So these folks, they're going to sit up here, and he's like, oh, get on this scale. But the scale again is like a home scale. Most home scales only go to about 300-400 pounds, okay? It wasn't even like a medical scale. I go step on the scale. This thing tell me I'm 389 pounds. I said, no, baby, that's wrong. Because if I lost that much weight, and my doctor's appointment was like a week to 2 weeks prior to that. If I lost that much weight in that short amount of time, I got some serious issues going on, okay? So I told him there's no way. If I lost that much weight, don't get me wrong, I think I'm losing weight because my eating is funky because of the bulge. But if I lost that much weight in that short amount of time, there's some bigger issues going on. So the lady weighs, it was a lady. He wasn't even in the room. He was in another room, this other dude. And I'm going to get to him because he shows up at the other location. So she then has me try another scale where that scale wouldn't even turn on. She even tried to step on it, wouldn't turn on. So one of them showed the weight, and I told her it's totally wrong. I knew it was wrong. And showed 389. The other one showed, and I was like, there's no way in hell. So they tried the table again, went up and back, stopped. So then he pulls back this rubber mat, and there's this gooey stuff right where it's stopping at, and it's streaked. He said, and I said, what's that gooey stuff? And he goes, oh, that's the cleaning solution for the table. So if I'm seeing it here where it's stopping, why ain't they seeing it down the whole table? Do y'all just wipe this area? Okay, so that was weird. Not saying it could have been me, but it was weird. Telling me the table go for it. So then they said, well, you're going to have to book it at another smile. I said, well, I'm not doing that today. I got to go see a general surgeon. So when I went to go see the general surgeon, lo and behold, there was another smile location. So once I got through talking to him, I said, well, my doctor's the one who wanted, my actual doctor, not the general surgeon, wanted to do this test to see my abdomen. And so she ordered that. And so I said, well, let me reschedule here. And I went in. I said, look, I'm on your way. My doctor ordered this. It's here, but the other smile, the table stopped working, so I want to make sure you guys can go up. This is my weight. Our table goes up to 550 pounds. I'm like, cool. They booked me. So I went in, was it last week? Last week. This butthole, who was the dude that was there, who was in training with her, he's now at this Scottsdale location. And he remembers me from the other location. So let me tell you one of these. So when I get in, I tell the lady, I said, ma'am, before you guys run the IVs, I want to make sure your table can go back and forth because at your last location, the table stopped. So she talked to the guy. They brought me back. Didn't have to change clothes. Didn't run IVs. Had me lay on the table. Ran me all the way through, all the way back. 2 times. Then butthole, because he didn't want to do it, he turns around and says, oh, we got to weigh you too. So they bring out some more of these house scales. I step on the first one, no numbers come up. It just gives dashes. Why? Because it probably does not go up to 452 pounds. And then he goes, then he turns around and he says, oh, well, I weighed myself. It works. My ninja, you are under 200 pounds. Of course it might work for you, but if you're someone who's over a certain weight limit, the scale doesn't work. Oh, well, our table goes up. I said, well, we don't want the table to tilt forward and hurt yourself. I said, no, we're done. It's a dick. I'm this, he's this, I'm fat, so fat and black. And I didn't see too many of me up in there. Actually, I didn't see none of me up in their offices. There were Latinos and whites working in the offices, but I didn't see none of me, and he's a white dude. And it told me everything I needed to know. He's a dick. So I'm pissed because I had spent Uber to go up there because Joe couldn't take me because he's dealing with the whole, brother with the foot cut off and the Down syndrome brother. So I done spent like $25-$30 getting up there. As I told them, I've spent this money. So they actually paid for me an Uber back over to this side of town. I then call and get into, I'm going to go to a different location called different imaging lab. I'm not going to give their name yet because I had some run-ins with them over the phone. One of their customer service people, he was horrible. And I ended up having to talk to one of the supervisors there because he was just horrible. And they got people from other countries too doing their calls. See, that's the other problem with our country. We've outsourced so much, and now we're suffering. Y'all wonder why our supply chain is messed up? Because ain't crap made here in America. You can't get a car because all our chips is made overseas because of the greed of car companies trying to do things at a cheaper level. All of it's greed. Everything we're going through right now is because of greed of folks. Even the prices of beef and meat and all this other stuff going up, it's greed. It's all greed. It's all greed. They ain't gonna pay them taxes. Biden gonna charge us XYZ in taxes? Oh no, we're not paying that. You ninjas at the bottom is paying that. So we're gonna boost the meat cost, and we're gonna and these companies that are doing that. Hello, Tyson. Didn't y'all just have by the way, Tyson Chicken, y'all, if y'all don't know, they just had a bird flu. They got a bird flu issue. Make sure y'all research that. I don't buy Tyson Chicken anyway for my own reasons. I'm not in the trucking industry anymore. I picked up from Tyson. And the cleanest Tyson I went to was the one in Amarillo. That's their beef facility. I can't speak on none other Tysons because that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say nothing. But they got an issue with the bird flu, and I'm not really shocked. I'm just saying. Yeah. Tyson is... I don't even... Look, I go to the Latino store. I just bought some Cornish hens. I don't know who the company is. As long as it didn't say Tyson. Good. Smithfield Pork. You now owned by a Chinese company talking about they're going to bring their pigs and stuff from overseas. And they had a bout with some things with pigs being swine flu during the COVID period. Y'all keep that. I see Smithfield on anything. I even researched where the canned meats come from. I forgot who it is. Hereford? I think it's Hereford. That might be Smithfield. Y'all research it. But I leave Smithfield alone. I leave Tyson alone. I don't mess with neither one of them. And that's a choice. I used to love y'all little hens, but I leave y'all alone. Good. In Smithfield, when y'all was talking about bringing y'all stuff from overseas, because it was a family. Smithfield was originally an American family-owned company, and during the pandemic, they sold it to an Asian company, and that was good. And I love me some Chinese food. I love Asian foods like my top food, but right now the Asian folk got too much going on. COVID, swine flu, Tyson, bird flu, and stuff I know about dealing with y'all with picking up and delivering meats and some of the maintenance I saw. Like I said, the best Tyson I went to was the Tyson beef. I might jack with y'all because I only know the Tyson beef that I've ever dealt with came out of Amarillo. Because that Amarillo facility, Tyson, y'all need to go visit them because them ninjas is on point. They got a whole system that's amazing. When your truck comes in, it gets washed out. The facility is very clean. I accidentally walked into the warehouse area. Clean. Very well maintained. Even the grounds are well maintained. It's managed very well. I don't know who does that facility. But your other locations that deal with your chickens, y'all might want to talk to them. Because I'm just going to tell you, there were times I brought trailers in that weren't even inspected. You don't know if I washed them out or not. And it wasn't only me. You go there, and I was, oh yeah, because I was so used to the one in Amarillo, where they before you can even drop a trailer, you got to back it up. They wash it. You couldn't even drop the trailer without them washing it. It was a pattern. You came in, you backed up, washed out, then you could drop. They didn't play. It had to be clean. They didn't care if you washed it somewhere else. It was going to get washed again at Tyson, Amarillo, beef. Yes, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. And that was the best facility I ever picked up. It was the cleanest facility I ever picked up at. The other ones in another state y'all own, have them at, I call it the Tyson Chicken Run. There might have been one, because we would always drop the trailers, and I don't know if they washed them ahead of time. We would drop them and pick up a loaded one. I was hoping they washed them. I don't know. Anyway, y'all, speaking of going, I'm getting ready to go. But y'all be praying for me, and I don't think this is over. Y'all keep stocking food. One of my friends also said if you have pets, make sure to stock food for your animals. If you have dogs or whatever, I think that's a good idea. But keep stocking. I've been doing my canned goods. That's when I buy canned goods for my pantry. And don't just buy them just to store there. Rotate through them. But when you use something, replace it with at least 2. And don't just stock for yourself and be self-centered. Stock for other people in case of an emergency. Because if you're self-centered and it's about you, you will find that your supply won't last as long. I'm just going to tell you that's the principle. It's a principle. So anyway, y'all, 2 and 2, because I got to do some things here in the garden and get ready for Joe, because he's going to be coming sometime after 6. But I want to get a couple garden things done today. Peace. Oh, let me see if I don't know if I hope I responded to everything. Oh, y'all like, subscribe. And let me see. I hope I did everything. Well, if not, I'll look at it. If there's more in here, we'll do another video on it. Y'all let me know if y'all want to do this bi-weekly or how often y'all want to do these. Peace. Yep, hold on. I'm trying to close it off.